Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at CMG, IBB, GLD, and Tesla. So let's get right into the CMG. We look at the daily, weekly, monthly time frames, and we use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So we had a nice retrace, 6 days up. Everybody was getting bullish. Even Kramer had a little spot on this one. Oh yeah, it's Chipotle. Are they back? Or whatever the heck he was saying. But again, so I'm surprised it didn't go up today. I think that was yesterday. So then today it popped up and then it came right back down to $1.42 or 0.34% on the day. I'd still like to see it close below this low, around 412.78. Until then, we're technically setting up in a bearish pattern, macro bull, micro bear. Until we get above this trend line, 750 and 618, I think this one is going to continue downwards. If you are bearish on this one, you're looking to recapture the 618, the 50 retrace, and the 50 retrace, the 50 MA and the 20 MA. We need to close below this, and I think we're going to head down to 386 or at least 400 first. We'll see how it reacts. Maybe they bounce it and retrace it and then bring it back one more time. But again, technically, this thing is in a bearish setup. Down, sideways. I mean, down, down, sideways. Popped it up, down, sideways. Nice retrace like always. Get all the bulls back on, and then boom, right in their face. Weekly chart. We talked about this 20 MA. Right into it. On Monday, we were above it. Now we're below it. I want to see some continuation. I would love to see an engulfing candle on this big green one. But even if we close back down in the 399, 400 section or anywhere below that, that will be bearish. If you're bullish on this one, it needs to close above the 20 MA on Friday, and it should continue on an upward direction. But like I said, on the daily, 6 days up into some good resistance up in here where it broke down, it should pull back. But it's still, you know, I still would have loved to have seen it hit this trend line and then pull back. But again, we'll see what the setup is in the next couple of days, and we'll take it from there. Friday's jobs report, so anything can happen. You know, even if it's great, markets will go up. Even if it's bad, markets will probably go up. But it's light volume, and who knows? Maybe the markets just tank on Friday. We'll find out in 2 days from now. Or on the monthly chart, still bearish. We're below the moving averages. 20 MA is curling, 50 MA staying straight, and this thing, it just can't get out of its own way. You know, we're going to know, actually no, it closed today. So we have a little bit of a, I wouldn't even call it a bottoming tail, because we're still not at the bottoms. But we did close below this trend line, so you got to keep that in mind. This had nice symmetry too. We broke through it. It could not retrace back up. The 6-1 or the 382s right here. So this will be interesting next month. If we start setting up sideways, I think this thing can possibly go down. Let's look at the IBB. The IBB, we've been talking about this. Well, this pattern's epic on the monthly. But on daily, we talked about the 200 moving averages, started consolidating. Now we closed below today. We were down 240 on the day. We did kiss the 50 MA. So we do have support down in here off this pivot around 278.98. Did it make it 278? No, we missed it for about 73 cents. And we're looking at possibly touching the 50 MA, and let's see if we could get a bounce on this. If this thing, I would have loved to have seen more consolidation, this 20 MA curl into price and then push it down. But if the SPY and everything else starts to sell, we will close below this 50 and fill this gap down in here. Oops. Down in here, right around 276.57. What did I just pull out? I think I had the... Let's take the retrace from here now. Actually, well... let's do it from there. Yes, we have the 382. We have a good support right around 276.83, and we have a gap fill. Stocks love to fill gaps. If that area gives out, then I'm thinking we're coming down into here, right around 267.55, this pivot, and then we'll reevaluate and see what happens. Like I said, I still would like to see some more bearish consolidation, and then this come and curl into it. But if we get below the 50 MA, fill this gap, I think we're heading down. Weekly chart. We got above the 50. We kind of closed on it. Look at that. This is weeks. Finally, we closed below. Now we're getting follow through. On a weekly close, if we close below this pivot, 278.77, we are definitely going down to the 20 MA around 274.97, 275 area. And we also have a retrace of 618. But if this ends up cracking, we're definitely going down to 263. then ultimately 250 area, possibly 240. But we'll know by Friday. Friday, this jobs report going into the weekend, still light volume. But a lot of people might want to get out because they don't want to stick around over the weekend and then open up on Tuesday after Labor Day and this whole thing's falling apart. Monday, the monthly chart's still in a bearish pattern. Now we closed right on top of the, let's see, no, actually we closed below it. So this is interesting. This is the 382 retrace coming back up, and now we closed below it by maybe 50 cents or so. So that is definitely bearish, but this is a monthly pattern. This next month, we're going to see if this can retrace down here into the 250 area. Then we're going to see how it reacts. But this is setting up for some ugly downside, in my opinion. Let's look at the GLD. GLD still pulling back. Let's see. It was down only 25 cents today, but we are below the moving averages. We got this curling down in the price. We have a little doji here today, and we did close below this pivot, but I'm expecting still a little bit lower prices. You still have a gap down in here. You still have a gap fill here. Ultimately a gap fill down right around 116 or so, and then the 200 net moving average. I would love this to fall down into this area down here. You have a gap window as well, right around 118. But if it goes down to the 200 moving average, I think this is a good spot where we could possibly start adding longs. Looking on the weekly, we do have good support here, though, and we have a pivot high, pivot low fib. We are in the 382, and we're coming up in the price in the 125 area or 124 area on the 20 MA. So this is good support, too. We have an inside bar. This is a weekly close, so let's see if we close below this inside bar. If we do, I think we're heading lower. If they can pop it up and save it, then there's a possibility of this inside bar bullish pattern playing out and moving up. So at the end of the week, we're going to know a little bit more about gold. But ultimately, if it's going down 618 around 121, then ultimately right in this 116, 117 area as well. Nice pivots down here. You have the 50 MA as well. Monthly chart, same thing. We went up right into the 50, right into this Fibonacci level, and that looks like the 618. We're pulling back, and now we're under on the monthly, which we closed today. That is bearish. That's why I'm thinking we have one more down move into this inside bar down in here. Because remember, this is an inside bar. It closed above, bullish. Now it's going to retrace. It retraces back down to, like, again, 116, 117. You got to go long GLD. Let's get right into Tesla. Tesla, same thing. It was up 67 cents, but man, it's just, well, actually, look at this, holding the trend line. We put that trend line in there yesterday, I believe. It is holding. Now what we're going to look for, let's pull this retrace out. Let's put another fib from this bottom to this top, and we talked about this. If this thing retraces, oh, move back. If this thing retraces back into the 382, around 219, possibly 222, you got to short it again. So we did cover. Man, I was going to cover today around the 209, 2010 area. We should have, but I love that it came in. If we retrace, I might add more. We're short like around 227 or so. So we're still in the money. We did cover half. We have a break even in, but if it gets up in here, I might add short again, but we'll see how it reacts. But I love that it went down. We did hit this little bit of support with this with the upper trend, or with the upsloping trend line from these pivots. It did hold that, so that's interesting. Now we're going to see if we consolidate sideways and we set up for the next move down. Weekly chart. Weekly, again, we're right into that trend line. Let's see what happens by Friday. If we close below here on a weekly basis, I'm thinking we're bearish. We're going to head down definitely to the 200 area and then right to the 188.54. If you want to be bullish on this, we got to get back above the MAs, recapture these highs here, and I think we could go to 237, then ultimately 258, 259, but then we're going to run into this trend line. A lot of resistance up here. If this gets snooze, pops up here, it's a definite short again. If you're short, just keep holding. I think we're heading down, but we are into some support in this area. Monthly chart, we're coming back down to this flag pattern, kind of up, choppy. I didn't keep this one in because that was just a brutal sell-off. But if we do crack below this line, 200, here we come, then ultimately 180, 175. We'll play it by ear. But this was an ugly close. I mean, we almost had a full engulfing candle on the monthly, and now we're going to click over and make a new monthly candle tomorrow. So we'll see where this thing can possibly move to. All right, guys, that's enough for tonight. Thanks for watching my videos. If you have any questions or comments, please send me an email at stockbookie@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.